You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAK Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. I was going to do one, but didn't get it up in time.
Do you mind if I eat real quick? Sorry, I didn't have any dinner.
Wow.
That was good.
Wow, he is eating.
I was hungry. I'm sorry. I didn't have any dinner.
Eating.
I didn't have any dinner. You want any candy corn?
Yeah, I was actually eating some.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I didn't offer it till just now, so. Oh, now we got this for the rest of the show. Ooh, give me a piece of candy corn. Oh, thank you so much. Ooh, that's some good stuff. Yeah, give me another one. Don't eat anymore.
Why not?
Don't eat more, you little pig. Because you're gonna be chewing all night. I wanna chew all night. Hey. What's up, dude? What is happening right now? I can't even do it.
Welcome to the
first episode.
Welcome to the scary episode, the first scary episode, official scary episode of the It Takes All Kinds podcast. Episode 135, right?
Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit of this.
Hey, what if I do a little bit of this?
Tell me what do you think if I did a little bit of this?
This is recorded on a
Shh. The ghosts are hungry.
They can hear you breathe.
Welcome to Scary Takes All Kinds.
It takes all scary kinds.
It's really scary about it. This week on the show, we're going to be talking about...
I didn't say like the number or anything. This is episode 135. We're recording this on Tuesday, October 3rd. We're getting this on Friday, October 6th. Is it the 6th?
And you know what that means. It's time to get really scary because it's October. And boy, do we have some beautiful topics this week. We've got Trump saying a nasty little word.
He doesn't cuss much, folks.
We also have Speaker of the House McCarthy being ousted today as we're recording this. Isn't that scary?
You're out!
In other scary news,
You're fired.
In other horrifying news, we have MrBeast, also known as Jimmy. That's his real name. His legal name is Jimmy. MrBeast, sponsoring the Charlotte Hornets. True crime. They figured out who killed Tupac Shakur. Tupac stands for Tumultuous Poclius. That's his full name.
Tumultuous Populous.
Tumultuous Populus. That's his full name. But it's abbreviated to Tupac. A next door drama about the scariest thing of all in America.
Alcoholism.
Landlords.
Oh.
It's kind of... They're both just as scary.
Did you put that together?
Yeah, I made that song.
Wow.
I stayed up all night in GarageBand. I just forgot about it, though, until just now.
Pull it up.
I was like, oh, shit, I should pull up that song I made.
Yeah. They call him Composer Carson.
Anyways. No, they call me Cunt Carson.
You have to bleep that.
Because how much I
You're
serve.
gonna have to bleep that.
Doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't even... We don't get enough views for that to even matter at all.
You never know.
Maybe one day. And then I'll be like, why did I do that? But I'll be at least the
10 minutes
first
in.
200 episodes were fine. Or first 100 episodes are fine.
Like 5 minutes in.
5 minutes in is... Well, yeah, I think it is after... Well, I forgot what the time limit is, and I don't really care. Gavin, what did you do this weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did you go to Chicago again? By chance? Just off the top of my head, did you go to Chicago again by any chance? Just
What?
like...
You know what, Carson? I did.
Spitballing here.
I did go to Chicago this weekend.
We can take that again. Take two.
Take two.
Gavin, did you... Take three. Gavin, did you go to Chicago by any chance this weekend?
You know what, Carson? I did. I did go to
Really?
Chicago this weekend. I went and
Really?
saw the legendary artist Peter Gabriel.
Tell me more. Tell me
Wow.
more about it.
Wow.
Yeah?
That is great. Drove up there Friday after class. And drove back.
You didn't drive, though.
No, I did not. My father did.
Shout out. He's in heaven now.
Shout out my father. He's out there somewhere.
We're going to miss him.
And
He's up there with Diane Feinstein.
drove up there with my mother
Mm-hmm.
and my father. And then we saw Peter Gabriel Saturday night. And
How was it?
it was really good. It was really good. It was a two-parter.
You were in
It
the
was-
SoFi Stadium.
No, United Center.
United Way Care Center.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
How was that place? Because that's where the Bulls play.
yeah, I mean, we went there last month for the Arctic Monkeys show.
That's where that was at, too.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that.
And we were on the floor this time, though.
Right, so you
yeah,
got to
so I
play
got
on the
to-
court.
Yeah, I theoretically
They
could
had
have been
the hoops
sitting. Yeah, I could have been sitting where Michael Jordan hit a shot.
That's
You never
pretty
know.
cool. You guys had good seats.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was sitting behind, like 2 rows in front of us. There was like this 6'5" guy.
Good.
The row in front of me, there was a woman that was like the same height as me, but her torso was taller than me. So I was like around the corner from like looking over her shoulder the whole show.
Okay.
And then next to her were these two like 6'1", this 6'1", 6'2" couple, and my mom was sitting next to me, and she's like five feet tall. Yeah, so that or 5'2". I don't know. Anyway,
Don't be ableist.
I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be nice.
That had to suck for her.
Yeah. So, he played a really good set. He has some incredible musicians. Is that what they're called?
I think that's how you say it.
Musicians. He has some incredible musicians that work with him. He has a trumpet player that also plays like French horn. The cellist, the cello player. The cello player, she has an incredible voice.
What? The cello player has an
she
incredible
sang.
voice?
Yeah, she sang.
While playing?
No.
Oh, damn.
But they had incredible visuals. I'll have to show you some clips. But
Yeah.
and just incredible art. So the picture that you guys saw was like a guy. It was like a clock, and every minute he would like roller paint the time, and then erase it after a minute, and then spend like the next 15 seconds rollering.
Mr.
the time.
Gabriel would?
No, I don't know who
Oh,
it
just
was.
some, like,
just like a display.
person.
Yeah. So that was artistic.
Yeah.
And he's an artist.
Right.
He has a very interesting accent too. It's not like British. It's I'm sure that there's a word for it, but it's very like refined English. It's not like a sloppy Cockney accent or nothing like that. He's nothing like that. He's very refined in the way he talks. He's very quiet. He's very precise with what he has to say. So he was entertaining. The crowd would stand up every time they recognized the song, and then sit down whenever they didn't recognize the song. And that was about every other song. So during the second half, it was like Big Time, some other song, Salisbury Hill, some other song.
Yeah.
It was just kept, So it was okay, but there was still people recording their entire concert on their phone.
Oh my god.
Still for this song, for this concert, probably an average age of like 45.
Right. I'm sure it had to be much older.
It was much older than like any other show I've ever been to,
But
which
they
is
were
fine.
recording.
But even they were recording it.
Why do people do that? Why do they do this?
Even the 6'5" guy who was a couple seats in front of us was recording it from his perspective. And I'm like, brother, you can see.
Yeah, you're good.
When you can see, man.
It's so annoying. I don't want to go into it, but I just hate it. I know it's like
I record like 10-second clips or like my favorite parts of the song because
I pull it out during a song I like. I get a little clip,
and then that's it. Yeah,
and it can either be for myself. I usually will just post it on my Instagram story, but it's just for me.
Yep.
But just to remember, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want to see a part from that show again.
Yeah.
But I need the whole.
He played all my favorite songs. He played Darkness. He played Growing Up, Digging in the Dirt, Sledgehammer, Big Time. The trumpet player must have blown out his chops. He was going crazy in the first half, and then the second half he did not pick up his trumpet.
Oh.
So, and Big Time has a pretty big like horn part in it. So he didn't play it during that. And I was like, that's interesting. He was playing like hell for Digging in the Dirt, but then didn't pick it up for Big Time. So
no opener, but he played a two-setter.
Yeah, no opener. And the first song was like very intimate. It was very close. It was on the front of the stage and just like
it was like when I saw Aha.
Yeah.
They had no opener and a two-part.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that Aha would have that much music, but they did.
They do.
It was very interesting. Very comparable too to Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
At that like elite level.
Yeah. And that's what me and my dad were talking about was that, like only the elite artists can do that many songs.
Yeah.
It was like 25 or 26 songs, I think. Damn. Which is a ridiculous amount of songs. Yeah. So that was incredible. It was really, really cool.
Nice.
And also Jerry Krause had his name retired up in the rafters next to Phil Jackson.
We know him.
Yeah.
We know Jerry Krause.
We know Jerry Krause. Big friend of the show.
I actually went to the baseball game with Jerry Krause.
Yeah, you did.
If I can segue along with that. Jerry Krause is code word for Spencer's dad.
Yeah.
Because he looks like Jerry Krause.
The other thing I had to say was that I also got into woke up Friday morning and like got hopped on Twitter.
Heard it.
Or X as it's now known.
Come on, dude. When are you gonna get that right?
Formerly Twitter.
The artist formerly known as Twitter.
And saw like a whole bunch of people, or like this one person was like retweeting Blue Sky invite codes, which is like the Twitter ripoff, or like Jack Dorsey's like Twitter 2 essentially. Oh,
it's run by him?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it basically runs exactly the same as Twitter.
Right.
So
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so I used one of the ones that someone had posted on there and got onto it. So I'll have an invite code by Friday, I think. Invite 1 or 2 people.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can invite you and my father.
I don't know if I'll use it, but I'd gladly take it and set up an account. Yeah. Just like I don't use Threads, and I was kind of excited for it, and then I never used it, and I never opened it anymore.
I think the most likes I've ever seen on there was 3,000. So.
Yeah, it's unfortunately I don't think it's
not gonna stick around very much longer.
No,
it'll probably always be there, but like nobody uses it.
Right, and who knows about Twitter either?
Yeah,
I could really give a fuck less too. But.
Yeah, so that was the other thing that was kind of like, oh, cool, I'm on it now.
You're on it, dude. Now you can invite other people,
other plebs. So yeah, you went to the baseball game with Jerry Krause.
With Jerry Krause
and his son
Spencer Krause.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun. I just wanted to bring it up just very briefly because we got to go into the infamous Champions Club, as it's known around these parts. If you're not local, it's a private public booth at the Busch Stadium in St. Louis to watch the Cardinals, and it's like if
all
you know
you can
what
eat buffet, all you can drink buffet.
Yeah, but it's like the public can buy it, whereas like the booths are like privately rented out. And it's a lot of fun, and Spencer and I had quite a bit to drink because all the drinks are free. It's an open bar. Everything's free.
All inclusive.
Spencer definitely did not keep up with me, and I was just housing him. And it was weird because I don't drink very often anymore, and I expected to be much of a lightweight. I did not get very drunk at all, and I was housing down hard liquor, mixed drinks. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I was having, of course, amaretto sours.
Yeah,
which is funny. The first one I ordered is me, Spencer, and Jerry Krause are sitting at the bar, and I ordered one, and Spencer's dad goes, well, that sounds like a Gavin drink. And I'm like, well, actually it is. He's the one who told me to get
it's
one.
Great.
But it was just funny. I think before after he said that, he told the bartender, this is old people humor, but he's like, can you put a little umbrella in that for him? And then I said to them, I wasn't going to say this to the bartender, but I was like, and a tampon, just because I knew that was like old people humor. And it's like, of course I don't give a fuck. It was just like to humor him. And I think he really liked that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to see
Wainwright.
No, I just got to see him sit in the dugout.
I thought he hit that game.
Annoying. Nope, it was the next game.
Damn.
I got to see him sit in the dugout, do interviews. I was like, is he going to bat? And they fucking won that night, and he didn't even bat at all. It was a good game. It was the first winning game I've been to in a long time.
Wasn't that like a huge win, too? Wasn't it like
15 something?
Yeah.
And the night before, they lost 19-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. And I kept saying to Spencer the whole time when we were up by like 10 points, I was like, they're going to fuck it up.
It's 10 runs.
10 points, 10 runs, 10 goals, 10 touchdowns. I kept saying to Spencer, I'm like, they're going to fuck it up. They're going to find a way to screw it up towards the end. It's going to happen.
Yep. Well,
surprisingly didn't.
But they did give up a little bit more runs than I was anticipating.
They certainly did. I got to see Ely De La Cruz play.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't do anything.
LA to go.
Actually, he did get one.
He got like a triple.
Yeah. I don't know if I saw that. But
you saw Noel V. Marte, too.
He got a good... he got a really cool catch that was like...
Glove gem.
Yeah, it was like... It looked... I thought it hit the ground, but it didn't. He like caught it right before. I think he got another good catch. But yeah, that was fun. And then the next day... woke up hungover as shit. No, I wasn't hungover at all. Surprisingly.
Dustin had plenty of water that night.
Before that, I did because Spencer and I stayed up even later. We stopped drinking after the game. And your brother took Spencer and I to the casino and dropped us off there, where I proceeded to lose not a ton of money, but too much too fast. Spencer broke even. He wasn't playing much, but he broke even. But then we left there, and the next day I got up and got my, and this might trigger some people, but I got my flu shot and another COVID booster. My card is so full they had to flip it over and and make up another one, because I think I've gotten
5.
Yeah, something.
It's gonna be
like
yearly
that.
now.
Right. Well,
for the record.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got it, because I'm like, well, it's a yearly thing.
And it's
get it when I get the flu shot.
For any people that might be wondering, like, oh, what's in this COVID vax that's different than anyone else?
Yeah,
is that this is a strain, because it's like Omicron is like the newest like big strain, so it's like it's a monovalent. So that means that there's only one strain. So it's like it's going to cover all the newest strains every year. That's kind of the plan.
Right. And for those who don't understand that even more, who need even more dumbing down, it's the same reason we get a flu shot every year. Is what they do is they figure out what variants of the flu are going around, or what went on last year, what's kind of going around now, and they make that into a vaccine to target those specific variants that are going around at the moment.
Which is like one type. They can be bivalent, trivalent, quadrivalent.
Depends on how crazy it is.
Crazy stuff.
But that's why the COVID shot will also be yearly, because it'll be the same as the flu, where it's keeping up with keeping up with the variants going around at the time. But I got both of them. Same arm. The flu shot took me out. It wrecked my shoulder for like 2 days. I could not move it. That's what happened to me too. I was like, okay, one day and I'll be fine. That night I was like, yep, there it is. I can feel it.
Yeah, it was hurting. Pretty bad.
And then I started feeling like shit Sunday night. I started feeling sick, like really sick. So much so that I'd like stayed up late. I might have had a little toker. But I just laid here watching Seinfeld, and I was like, I'm not going to get up. I was like, I'm just going to fall asleep for a little bit here.
Yeah.
And then I did, and I woke up at 5 a.m., and I was like, oh,
in a sweat?
Actually, surprisingly not.
I didn't get the sweats hell that night.
I don't really get the sweats. Photoshopped? After I got photoshopped.
I got my photoshopped.
I don't really get the sweats or the chills whenever I get sick, weirdly enough. I think I got too much body heat.
Already emanating.
I got too much mass. No, I don't know why it is, but I woke up and I was just like, oh, fuck. And then I went to bed, and then I got up and I was fine. And then yesterday, later in the day, I started feeling shit again. And then, speaking of shit, I don't know if it's had to do with the vaccines or not, but I was horribly constipated for about nearly 48 hours, which never happens to me.
He's a loose cannon.
And it finally made its way today. So I think I'm okay now, but it was like, and I ate quite a bit during that time. So it wasn't like there was an absence of, or is that the word I'm looking for? Absence of food in there. There was plenty. It just wasn't making headway.
I get it.
And it was terrible.
Body was focused on other stuff.
It was focused on getting this shots, these jabs out of me. But I'm fine now. I'm better.
He got the jab.
I got double jabbed.
Now he won't be performing as well because he's got heart problems.
I've been a little slow. I'm a little worried about tomorrow's big announcement on the iPhone. Not sure what it could bring for me. I'm truly fucked if that's true. If that shit's true, I'm really fucked.
Yeah, you are.
Speaking of fuck.
So if we don't have an episode next week, it's because of the emergency broadcast thing that's going on Wednesday.
It's because we're zombies.
Yep.
Speaking of fucked, how about our late great president, Donald John President, with a little memeage during his speech at the, what was this at? This was at
Anaheim, California,
where they were doing the debate that he was not present for.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he was present that next day to give a speech. And
we're gonna call you Donald Duck.
We're gonna call you Donald Duck.
You keep ducking,
Governor Christie.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
It was like
we're gonna call you Donald Duck.
I did an edit of that for Office Hours. Go check it out if you haven't already. And right before he goes into it, he breathes in really loud, and I like boosted the volume on it so loud because he's like, and then he's like, and I know you're watching Donald. It was great. It made me laugh a lot. But go watch that. Go watch Chris Christie and Mike Pence make a fool of themselves. Well, I've been sleeping with a
teacher for the last 38 years.
Fucking weirdo. Okay, but here's Donald John President.
Let's indict the motherfucker. Let's indict him.
Dude, he looks terrible.
I know.
He is so out of breath.
I have a feeling he regretted it. Because there's no way he wanted to say. He's never, ever said that before.
He doesn't curse like that.
There's not even like clips from like.
Even in the 90s.
The grab him by the pussy lips days.
Yeah.
Where he said fuck. And now he's just spouting it. He just spouted it. Well, once. I mean, he's not spouting it. But yeah, he does this weird like. I'll play it again. I'm just going to play it that one time on the video, but.
Motherfucker, let's indict.
He kind of does this like. Oh, shit. Like this kind of weird like. Oh, God.
Looking good, Donald John.
He's kind of doing what Chris Christie was, just with more of like a...
Like, he looks like he's going to vomit. The full clip is him saying, like, Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's talking,
Joe Biden got into office, and he was like... He said, let's indict the motherfucker.
Yeah, I love how he gives it the little motherfucker, like he's Scarface. Let's indict the motherfucker.
And it's like, oh yeah, Joe Biden talks like that too, man.
And then I like that. Let's indict him. At the very, I'll play
let's indict him.
Here, I'll play. Let's indict him.
No, you just got to keep playing it. It's
Let's
great.
indict the motherfucker. Let's indict him.
Let's indict him.
That's great.
Indict the motherfucker.
Let's indict
him. I think I like that part better than the motherfucker.
Indict the motherfucker. Let's indict him.
Let's indict him.
He's like about to die.
He's out.
These Republicans and right-wing affiliated people love playing the villain right now for some reason. Jordan Peterson's doing it.
Jordan Peterson's doing it against the
full
Muppets.
Villain.
He's a Muppet villain.
Yeah, he's like a villain. He wants to be the villain for some reason so bad, and it's awesome.
He keeps tweeting about gay men too.
He loves them.
Something about it, man.
Something about him. And speaking of that, like, where the let's indict them motherfucker came from, it pretty much started with Speaker McCarthy. He was the one that, I think it was a big leading part of the let's indict Joe Biden, if I'm not mistaken. He was leading the charge on that.
Let's indict the motherfucker.
But before we get into McCarthyism, indictment, would it be an indictment? Not really. No, not an indictment, because that's
just
a court
ousting.
case. Sorry, ousting. I'm getting indictment and impeachment mixed up. Before we get into that, Gavin, why don't you go and catch us up to speed on kind of kind of where we're at right now. You know what I mean? Just catch us up to speed real quick.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind.
The average person in their 20s has seen the first successful ouster vote of a speaker ever. Three of the 4 presidential impeachments. Two of the 4 popular vote electoral college splits. The first ever presidential indictments. And a coup attempt.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
just,
That was just...
catching us up on what's going on and what and what we have to what we get to tell our children and grandchildren what it was like to grow up during our time.
They're going to look up to me and they're going to say non-binary. They're going to say non-binary.
They, them,
non-binary grand person.
them,
Yeah.
grand them, grand
They're going to say, what was life like? No, that's a Jimmy Carr bit. Did you see that clip? Yeah, Jimmy Carr sucked. That was like he was a guy that used to be on roasts on Comedy Central.
I know who Jimmy Carr is.
And he has a comedy special now where he's not holding a microphone. It's like on his.
Okay.
And it's bad. And he tells like 2 One Direction adjacent jokes in a row.
Jason.
Adjacent.
Oh, adjacent. Sorry,
Yes.
adjacent.
And he talks about about grandchildren looking up at their grandparents and saying non-binary grandparent.
That's a funny one.
Yeah, he got me with that one. And then he said something about
He's right.
9/11 and I said, "Whoa, guy."
I said, "Whoa there, buddy.
Hey, cat, you're not playing well."
Hey, little kitten, go pee in your litter box."
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say to my grandchildren.
That's what I was going to say. Yep.
Because they're all going to have litter boxes.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys heard about that, but there's these schools that now have litter.
Shut up, dude. That's not real. That can't be real.
I heard about it from a friend. A friend of mine told me that. They read an article that said that.
Yeah. Did you also see that they, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you also hear about, did you hear about it?
I did. That's crazy. They let that happen in schools nowadays.
Yeah, I think I also saw something where...
They don't teach you
remember
that.
that?
They don't teach you that in school anymore. They don't. You remember learning the Pythagorean theorem?
No.
Because I don't. I remember learning that in homeschool.
No.
That's good.
No.
Working on your ventriloquism recently?
No. And Jeff Dunham now. Hello, I'm a jalapeno.
That's great, man.
I'm a racist jalapeno. Wow. No, I'm a terrorist. I think that's how the terrorist sounded. I can't remember. I had a friend who was really into Jeff Dunham. That's not even a joke.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think you might.
So yeah, what else is going on with the Mikowski
Well, there's so the litter boxes. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, let's talk about McCarthyism. What was McCarthyism again? I always forget.
That was the Red Scare.
That's right.
Yeah, the Red Scare podcast.
We should start that.
We should start that back up again.
I have a I have an idea for Office Hours does fake advertisements.
Yeah.
Maybe I can pitch this to you because I'm going to pitch it to the Peanut Gallery. No, I'm going to pitch it to the guys and see what they think. But
The Holy Trinity.
let me see what you think of it first.
Okay.
The show the ad is for a show called Ridiculousness,
Okay.
but it's spelled REDICK -lessness. So it's ridiculousness. And it's
And it's a picture of Dick Cheney shooting his friend in the face with a shotgun.
close.
Oh,
It's a show revisiting the Watergate tapes hosted by Rob Dyrdek.
That's good. Yeah.
Because Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Dick Nixon. You like it?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what they think.
I think that'll go over well.
The wordplay kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. I think it's funny enough, though. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck you.
Or it could be like a really funny transgender joke about like getting their dick put on or something.
Yeah.
Like that. That's really funny.
And Rob Dyrdek does the surgeries.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Dude, that's fucking triggering to all the liberals out there. I'd watch out.
Yeah, and then, like I heard that the litter boxes. So McCarthy was ousted today, just mere hours ago.
You're fired. Let's indict the motherfucker.
Now, as Gavin stated in his 2023 wrap up that he just did,
They actually don't even have a Wikipedia page for the title of Speaker Pro Bono, which is the level below Speaker, because there's never been an ousting of a Speaker before.
oh right, because
It's never happened before.
isn't it called like an interim?
Pro Bono.
But pro bono would be doing it for free. Who's doing a Speaker of the House for free?
I don't know. It's the next in command, I guess. I don't know.
I think that was an interim
Pro
speaker
temporo
or something.
Pro temporum. Pro tempore. I think that's what it is.
It could be. I thought it was interim or like
No, it usually is interim, but for the Speaker of the House, it's different. There's like,
because they had this guy who looked like some sort of cartoon villain that they said was the interim.
yeah. Did you see him hammer
speaker.
it? Did you
No, I
see-
didn't.
It's pro tempore, Speaker pro tempore of the Speaker of the United States of House of
God damn it!
Representatives.
Who does he look like?
He looks like Tim Apple.
He kind of looks like Tim Apple. It's gonna really make me mad if I can't figure it out. He kind of looks like Gromit from Wallace and Gromit, or Wallace. Gromit's the dog. What if Gromit was the guy? I don't know. I'll figure it out. What was that picture of?
What, this?
Yeah,
Who knows? 2020 was a different time.
I don't remember that year too well. So, anyways, like Gavin was saying, he was the first ever speaker to be voted out, and this was led by alleged pedophile Matt Gaetz, just allegedly. I don't know if that's been proven, but he apparently took I believe, just maybe even sex trafficked.
Patrick McHenry.
Patrick McHenry.
Pro tempore.
But Matt Gaetz allegedly, I think,
Oh, yeah,
is
look at this,
allegedly,
look at this.
excuse me, allegedly known for
Look how
possibly sex. Hold on, I'm trying to say something. Allegedly sex trafficking like a 14-year-old on an airplane or something.
Well, that happens all the time.
It's an accident.
Well, and have you seen Sound
You
of Freedom?
read up the full story if you want to figure it
Have you
out.
seen Sound of Freedom?
I haven't.
You really ought to.
The
It's something-
blockbuster of the summer.
Yeah, and Matt Gaetz definitely did not make those crimes happen.
No, and neither did a person that was I believe a big funder of the movie who was found
Nope.
for being having child pornography like a week later.
Come on.
No.
No.
Okay, show me this hammer. Show me this hammer that Gromit hits.
The call of the chair.
Holy fuck. He's pissed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care what happened before, but this is
The Honorable the Speaker, House of Representatives.
To recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Fuck!
God.
Imagine him saying that.
Yeah. That's definitely what I was thinking when I said that.
Well, yeah, because he was so.
He's
Whenever,
a friend of McCarthy, apparently.
He's a friend of McCarthy.
A friend
Wow,
of McCarthy.
Mick Carthy, Mick Henry. Interesting, Trump. But whenever, like, McCarthy had to, like, write down who he would appoint if he was voted out or, like, probably died, I'm assuming. I don't know, because it's not like they have a vice speaker.
Yeah.
So that would be the person who would take over, I think.
Could have been Money Mitch.
Big Money Mitch. It's because he's got a. Never mind. I was gonna say this is just a joke. I was gonna say it's because he's got a big bounty on his head. Obviously, that's a joke. Nobody wants to kill him. He'll die. He'll die soon, anyways. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. He's just old.
Watch out, dog.
Everybody will die soon, anyways.
Yeah, everybody's gonna die eventually. Just some sooner than others.
Well, I'm really sad to hear about McCarthy.
One of the worst parts of working in the house.
McCarthy was one of the best that we ever had as a speaker, and he's actually a big political
I just like to
person.
talk about how awesome I.
Will I be running again? Well,
Will I be running again? Well.
Anyways, so yes, alleged sex trafficker, pedophile, possibly pedophile. I think it's more alleged sex trafficker than anything. We went over that a while ago. I remember.
Didn't he have that guy? Didn't he have that Cuban guy with him?
That cute guy.
The Cuban guy.
Yeah.
What was his name?
All I can think of is
It was a
was it the Tony
no.
Pizzeria? The guy that Trump.
No, I don't think so.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know. We went over that so long ago.
Cuban son.
We went over. Oh, right.
Nestor.
Nestor. Oh, I forgot about Nasty Nestor.
We share no blood, but he was my life.
I don't remember. I don't remember if we went over that at the same time that we went
We
over.
share no blood, but he's my life.
Here's my life.
I live in Florida.
We went over. I don't know if we went over that at the same time that we went over this, but whenever McCarthy was voted into the speaker position, I remember we went over Boebert and Matt Gaetz yelling on Boebert. We went over them yelling. Remember there was a big fight?
Yeah, they were arguing.
Oh, there was almost a fight.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So there's been tension for a while, but Matt Gaetz led this
coup
of the speaker
Coup
position,
d'etat.
and very questionable reasons. I don't know if you. I couldn't really define a definitive reason. McCarthy says Matt Gaetz was doing it because of something to do with funding, Republican funding. I don't know if that was It sounds like a very petty thing that Gaetz was doing, but Gaetz has pretty much just been he was a bad leader and he was creating chaos in the House, but really it was mostly Matt Gaetz causing the chaos. Not that I'm trying to back up McCarthy because before I go any further, and I think you'll agree with me on this, he's a nasty motherfucker.
He's a nasty motherfucker.
McCarthy
Let's
is
indict him.
not a good person, but he got all of the Democrats voted for it, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Which kind of actually, I was kind of surprised by it at first. I don't know why.
That included Joe Manchin and
true.
And the one lady from Arizona.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Never can remember women's names for some reason. I know you don't like them working and stuff, so I won't go any further. You're not even for them working, which is crazy. It always.
Oh, Kristen Sinema.
Yes, Kristen Cinema.
Yeah. Sure.
I could watch you for a lifetime. It's the song Cinema. It's a good song.
Cinema show.
But they obviously all voted. But Matt Gaetz, at first, the vote didn't go through. They blocked it.
Yeah.
And then he somehow got a dozen Republicans onto his side to vote to oust him. And it went through, I think, 216 to 210, I think was the final vote. 216 for, 210 against. And it went through, and they got him ousted for the first time ever. And I mean, okay, I guess I'm fine with it, but it's not like they're going to get anybody that I give a fuck about getting elected. They're just going to be as nasty as the last person was. It doesn't matter who it is.
The other thought is, this was also kind of the thing whenever McCarthy was getting voted in as speaker, was that they were people realized that in the Constitution, or the way that the statutes are laid out, is that they could, the language is so ambiguous, it doesn't even have to be someone from the majority side of the House. It can be literally anyone.
Right.
So that
Just
brings
whoever
up
gets voted
an
in.
interesting side project that it seems like they've been working on recently,
Right.
which is
To vote possibly, possible and possibilities. There is a conspiracy that they want to elect Trump in. One of the main, I think, conspiracy thing that I read, not conspiracy thing, but the main evidence I saw of this today was when Matt Gaetz did an interview, I believe on Fox News, or maybe it was before, where he was like, I got the, pretty much was like, I got the blessing of the great president, or, something referencing Trump, not saying his name. But then Trump's camp or Trump's advisors were like, we don't think he has anything to do with it. Trump did post something on Truth about it while it was all happening, saying that like the Republicans need to not be fighting against each other, but like unite together. So it's like kind of confusing because it's like he could be saying that against McCarthy, but he could also be saying that for McCarthy. And like and the other funny thing I was going to mention is jumping around a little bit here, but McCarthy blamed the Democrats for voting against him because he's like, I thought some of you would have voted for me to stay. He's like, of course, like kind of, he's like saying he's not blaming Matt Gaetz, but he like in his 45 fucking minute resignation remarks press conference, he like talks shit on Matt Gaetz, but he also blamed the Democrats, which is really funny. Which is like, of course they're gonna vote against you. Why wouldn't they? Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
I just flashed back to Paul Ryan being Speaker of the House.
I don't really remember that.
It was just like everybody hated him, and it was like, okay,
yeah.
cool. The evilest of all evils to ever adorn the House.
Right.
Speakers from the right.
But if they get Trump in, like Troy Nels said here, he said, this week when the U.S. House of Representatives reconvenes, my first order of business will be to nominate Donald J. Trump for Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives.
And I think they did it before. Didn't they do that whenever they were doing McCarthy? Is they had like 16 votes or whatever to Donald Trump, and
it was like not many.
I'm like, cool.
Which I think is what's going to happen now, because I assume the people who Matt Gaetz was able to rope on over were like, we're going to get Trump in.
And I've seen.
If I have that's just a alleged feeling.
I've seen like the fact that they could make their own like political party or like political like smaller offshoot. So it's like they definitely always will have these few people voting with them.
But it'd be so stupid.
It'd be stupid. It'd be a complete waste of anyone's votes.
Which is what this is so stupid. It makes the Republican Party look like more of a laughingstock. Yeah. And honestly, like, though I think it's completely pointless, it's like, okay, great. Let's get you guys going against each other.
If that's the way that the Democrats will win, I guess.
You're right. Because that's the only way we'll actually, or that's the only way they will, not we will. The only way they will actually win is by doing that, because they can't do jack else. Yeah. So it's fine. The other funny thing I thought is that Pelosi was not there to vote on it because she was missing in action. She was at dying Feinstein's funeral today, and she was not coming home for that. Was like literally what apparently she said, or what she was planning on doing.
I'm not coming home for that.
The funniest headline I saw about it was that she was still mourning the loss of Feinstein. And I was like, dude, she died like Saturday. Very, very old. She was 90. Yeah. So
they're both from California. Funny. I bet they were probably besties or something like that.
Probably. With their gay husbands. Not really. That's a joke, of course.
I saw a picture of Dianne Feinstein. Like talking to someone in 2018 and like has her hand up against the wall, and someone was like, this is what I remember of Dianne Feinstein. And like, she was trying to swing the vote, blah, 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 this one person, blah, blah, blah. And I just...
Flirting with them.
Yeah. So it was like, she's just asserting her dominance. Like,
yeah. Before they had to put her in a wheelchair and wheel her back in.
Yeah. It was just like... Then they also shared clips of her, this is my...
this is your funeral?
This is my... What's the word for it?
Send off?
Yeah. Just some memories...
memorial.
Memorial of her was...
We can light some candles.
She has a video there's a video where they have a whole bunch of kids coming into her office and saying, "You need to vote for the Green New Deal," blah blah blah, and she's basically just like, "I know how to do my job. Don't tell me how to do my job."
Oh yeah, I did see
I
that.
was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "These are kids that are gonna be affected." She's like, "I have 6 grandchildren. I'm very well aware of the issues that will be facing them."
No, she's not.
I'm
She's
like,
not aware
"No,
of
you're not."
anything.
No, you're not. This was 2018 or
Right.
something like that.
This is before.
2016, 2012.
She was probably losing it then, though. I mean,
Yeah, like
It's not
she
that
was.
long
Yeah,
ago.
it was like after she had won the midterms or whatever, and she's like, "I just won a big election, so she's like, you guys aren't even old enough to vote for me, so."
right.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then there was one where whenever, I guess she was friends with the guy who murdered the San Francisco mayor back in the 80s.
Wow. I
And
didn't know
has
that.
his diary in her possession, or had his diary in her possession. Did not
the
let anyone
fuck?
read it. She also kept the Confederate flag flying outside of the San Francisco City Hall after somebody had like motioned to have it down, and she was like, "No, we're gonna keep it up." And then a guy dressed up as a Union soldier cut it down, and then he got charged with a crime or something like that.
What the
It
fuck?
was like there's just a whole bunch of like just weird shit that happened. So, but there's people that were like, "Oh, she was a trailblazer," blah blah blah, and there's something to be said for that. But she was also not a great person for keeping it that long. And
Right.
also, there were people that were like, "Think of the staffers," and I'm like,
What
someone
about 'em?
because someone made a tweet saying like, "Oh, bury the staffers with her,"
yeah.
and so it was like, "How dare you say that?" And it's like the staffers worked very hard. And it's like the staffers deserve to be charged with elder abuse.
Probably.
And like they only were doing it for their own CVs and resumes anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
fuck
She
all those
gone.
guys too.
She
So
gone.
She's gone.
She's gone. We don't have to worry about her ever again. We got bigger fish to fry. Like
Now
Big Money
Gavin
Mitch.
Newsom gets to appoint whoever he wants.
Yep. Yeah, which will be very interesting.
Exciting.
But moving past politics a bit, Gavin, you have some MrBeast news that we got to discuss.
So, if you don't know, MrBeast is
Jimmy.
is a Charlotte-based YouTube content creator.
Oh, right. Because I was wondering the connection there. I did not
Yeah,
realize
he's from his hometown's Charlotte. So I guess he's
Interesting. That makes
always,
sense.
quote unquote, always cheered on the
Yeah.
Hornets. No one cheers on the Hornets. No one cares.
Not until recently.
Not even recently. They're horrible.
Yeah, but they got Melo.
That's true.
They got LaMelo.
This is from Adrian Wojnarowski from yesterday. Yesterday was NBA Media Day as well. So all
Right.
all the NBA teams came together,
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Jimmy Butler.
and Jimmy Butler had his emo hair.
I don't really
He
care.
did it last year too. Anyway, and then everybody's like, "Oh, he didn't mention the Timberwolves whenever he was talking about his career." And it's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't either, dude."
I forgot he was even on the Timberwolves.
No, he's
to
like
be
there
honest.
was I had the Chicago days, and I had the some other teams, and then there was the Philly days, and now I'm on the Heat. Said something like that, and it's like, okay, cool.
Cool, buddy.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, the shade," and I'm like, okay, no
It
one
was like
cares.
a season, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Not even, maybe?
not even a season. It was like 25, 50, somewhere. Anyway, so the Charlotte Hornets are launching a jersey patch partnership with YouTube and social media sensation MrBeast, a novel entree between an influencer and an NBA franchise. MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson,
Jimmy Donaldson
will
very white
advertise
name.
his Feastables logo. Fucking shit, man.
Feastables Largar.
On the Hornets uniforms and media backdrops for news conferences. So even during the post-game conferences, it will show MrBeast
Fuck yeah.
Feastables.
I love that.
Donaldson, a native of Greenville, North Carolina, is believed to have the most subscriptions of any individual YouTube, TikTok, X, and Instagram, over 350 million combined followers. MrBeast's partnership is the first high-profile public-facing business move of the new majority ownership regime of Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin, who took over the franchise from Michael Jordan in July.
Regime.
Yeah. So, I think I also posted a picture in here, maybe. Or MrBeast also made a tweet about it. He said, "Feastables is the official sponsor of the @Hornets smiley face. I love basketball, so it only makes sense for Feastables' first sponsorship to be with my home team. Loving heart emoji."
Aw.
That's
Jordan and Feastables.
Yeah, that
at the
is-
same size on the same jersey is something I would never thought I would ever see.
It's like the Harley Davidson logo on the Bucks jerseys.
Right, but just think about the comparison. They both
Yeah.
probably had to pay the same amount in sponsorship money to have their logos, and it's Michael Jordan, Jordan Brand, and
Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast Feastables.
YouTube child star, not child star, YouTuber for mostly children, underage people, underage viewers. His food snacks company,
Cool, man.
stitched onto the jersey
Yeah.
as well.
So that was an interesting little media day tidbit that I don't think anyone was expecting.
I didn't see anybody talking about it either. It was just Jimmy Butthole everywhere.
Yeah.
All over
everyone
my
was.
screen.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really care. I don't know. I just didn't care about that. But I
Yeah.
care about this.
Yeah.
That's what I want to
Maybe
hear
one day
about.
you can have your
Here.
food stamp on your
I can have
jersey.
food stamps on my jersey,
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
I don't think Oliver Anthony's going to be happy about that.
Nope.
Gavin, after over 30 years, close to 30 years, over 25 years, they believe to have
Years.
found the man who murdered
Years.
Tupac Shakur, of course, full name being Tupaculus. Wait, no. What did I say was?
No, it was Tubaculus, right?
No. It's Oculus Poculus or something like that. Oculus Poculus. Who murdered Oculus Poculus, which is his full name. That's what Tupac is short for, of course. And that is Mr. Duane Keefe D. Davis, who was a member of the, or who was, who was a member or is still a member of the Crips. No, the Crips, because
Don't get that mixed up.
don't fucking say that. Because Tupac, I believe, was a member of the Bloods, so they were rival gangs, obviously. But he was there.
I remember when they came to St. Charles.
When they moved into town.
Woo!
When the Bloods and Crips moved into Missouri.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Even people who don't live anywhere near here, do you guys remember when that happened? I remember when the governor opened up Compton, Missouri. It was a suburb outside of St. Louis. They call it Compton just so they wanted to welcome them into town
with warm open arms.
with warm open arms. Of course, that's a joke. We didn't really talk about that on the show, but Gavin had a teacher who said that the Bloods and Crips moved into town.
She said it was
In
a
high
different time
school.
in high school. She was a high school teacher. And she said that they ravaged St. Charles.
So that's the education we grew up with.
That will never ever leave my brain.
But let's ban the books. Yeah, let's start banning books that involve gay people. But we'll just talk it. We'll make up rumors about how Bloods and Crips moved into town. And the litter. Did you hear about the litter boxes?
Don't get me
They're put
started.
in the classrooms.
Don't
You have to
get me-
watch the kitty girls
Wow,
pee and
yeah.
the kitty boys pee.
They go.
And they piss
And
all
they-
in a box.
And if they don't, then they'll start pissing on your clothes.
And the teacher is the one who's in charge of cleaning it. But of course, we won't. They have to bring their own litter boxes in. It's
Yeah.
not in the budget to give them all litter
no.
boxes.
Think
But
of
it
the
is required
Yeah, by law.
by law. It is required by law.
It is required by law that all schools in Kentucky will have the kitty litter boxes in
Oh,
the
All schools in Kentucky must have litter boxes for the kitty boys and kitty girls to take a piss and shit.
Kitty girls?
To piss and shit in. If they don't, they will be fined by law. Any of you kitty boys in here?
Want to pee in my mouth?
I'd like to get some piss in my mouth before I die.
Please.
So they found who killed Tupac.
So they find out who killed Tupac. Even though I'm pretty sure he'd been claiming that he did for years.
Yeah, that was the weird thing, is because it's
I
been
thought
a
that was
mystery.
like a thing that like he was like, yeah, I'm the one who killed Tupac. And they were like, yeah, man, sure you did.
It was like a mystery forever, and like they made an announcement like a month ago that they were finally looking back into it. They reopened it, and they made an announcement that they arrested Dwayne Davis, Keefe D, and then they were like, he wrote about it in his book that like he pretty much was like Tupac had it coming, but like I don't know why it took them this long, and it's like Gavin said, it sounds like he's been kind of like.
It's not like he's been skirting the law.
Saying it.
He's been kind of out publicly about it. It's
Right.
not like a hush hush show. I'm the one who killed it. Who killed him?
So I'll just
Who
read
did?
this little.
I'm sorry. Who did it? Who killed him?
Right. I'll just read this little
killed it.
excerpt from CBS News that did a little write up about it. But it says, how is Dwayne Keefe D. Davis allegedly involved in the murder? So 3 other men believed to be in the white Cadillac the night of Shakur's shooting have died. Davis is the last living suspect in the case, police said. On the night of the shooting, Shakur and members of his entourage came to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Hotel in Vegas, if it already didn't mention that. Shakur and Suge Knight, if you don't know who they're referencing there, saw Davis's nephew Orlando Anderson in the hotel, authorities said. Surveillance footage shows Shakur and Knight beating up the nephew, and the fight was stopped by hotel employees. News of the fight got back to Davis, police said, and he started hatching a plan to get revenge. Davis got a firearm from a close associate, police said, and gathered Orlando Anderson, his nephew, Terrence Brown, and DeAndre Smith to go with him to in the infamous white Cadillac. And then it says on July 17th of this year, they searched his house. But yeah, it sounds like that's already been kind of known, that he's kind of been saying that. So it's like, I don't know.
I
It's
guess
very weird.
We'll see.
And the police were like, for anybody who said we weren't going to solve this case, you were wrong. It's like, it sounds like you've known for a long time, or you could have easily figured this out a long time ago. But anyways, they found him.
If you ask me, they probably did something that they wanted to sweep under the rug and found this to bring up instead.
Because it was like they reopened the case and they arrested him within the span of like a couple weeks.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like they probably did something that they knew they shouldn't have done, and they recently,
right.
and we're like, we got to come up with something pretty big to cover this up.
Oh shit! Is he not paying us for drug sales or whatever anymore?
Yeah.
That he's getting kicked back. Again, that's just allegedly. That's just police wrongdoing. It doesn't have to do anything with selling drugs.
That's allegedly. That's not actually what happened,
No.
but I would not doubt it.
Would not doubt it. Moving on
Moving on.
into a segment we do pretty much every week, titled Next Door Drama. It is, of course,
Next door drama.
Next Door Drama. In case you don't, if you don't know, Nextdoor is the infamous blog posting website for your neighborhood, which is up to a certain mile radius. Gavin, could you hit the camera when you get a chance?
Oh yeah.
Where people can post whatever the hell they want into this blog in your neighborhood, talking about whatever's going on. Why do people mow their lawns so early? Can someone buy my gun? Where is
Take
the
this
best?
gun off my hands really quickly. I need to get rid of this.
It's Keefe D. Davis's gun. Where is the best restaurant to get Greek yogurt? Very important things that they talk about, of course. And what we do every week is we take a blog entry and the comments, we script it out, we do a dramatic reenactment of it set to music. It's very fun. It's very weird because we live in a neighborhood of a lot of deranged white folk, as I would like to say, and deranged other folk. We'll be inclusive. Everybody's got weird folks. This one is another fan entry from Gavin's father.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin's dad sent one, I believe, around 4th of July times. It might have even been in the 4th of July episode about pie. This one
This one's
is titled, I Know What the Location Offers. It's a little bit of a landlord tale. I will be playing the character of Kyle, who's an overconfident landlord. Gavin will be Pamela, who's very nosy. Do you see my little note there? You don't have to read it out loud, but... and for context to non-local listeners, which I hope is most of you, they will make mention of Lindenwood. Lindenwood is a local college around here, so you kind of get that
D1
inference.
school, okay?
Yeah, D1 now. You'll get that later on in the story, but it's not noted right off the top. So just for little context clues for you all, I need a drink. So without saying much else, I'm going to hit the Next Door Drama intro song and we're going to get right into it. My laptop is really quiet and I don't know why. I'm blasting it.
Do we need to turn mine down?
Yeah, probably. This week on Next Door Drama. I have a room, 11 by 11 in my house, up for rent to a college student. Lindenwood is 0.7 miles away. The renter can have access to do as they please with the front room, 11 by 20, and we're quiet people seeking a quiet renter. If you know anyone who's looking for a room like this, please hit me up. $600 a month, all included. Edit. Travel nurses are also welcome.
Seriously? $750 a month for a room and use of the front room? My brother pays that amount for a 1-bedroom, living room, bathroom, and kitchen apartment. Think if you have any of hope renting that room, especially to a college student who typically wouldn't have that kind of money to be spending monthly, you need to dramatically drop the amount. $250 a month seems more appropriate for a bedroom and use of a front room. Hope there is also a private bathroom in the bedroom, since you didn't mention they'd have access to elsewhere in the home.
Okay. Feel free to not rent it or suggest it. $250 isn't worth my peace of home. Isn't worth the peace of my home. Also, Pamela, if you spend any time looking at rent for apartments or homes nearby, and you look at the cost of housing for Lindenwood students, which even a quick Google can showcase how expensive that is, then you'd see that $750 for a peaceful residence with mature and respectful folks is actually quite cheap. Not to mention the in-house laundry and gym, 0.7 miles from the school. Nonetheless, I know what the location offers.
Is that the way you want me to read it?
Yeah, keep it up.
The Pist doesn't mention a home gym or laundry being part of the deal. And my brother's apartment is here in St. Charles, nor that far from the college. A bedroom and front room is all noted that comes in the deal. Even the college housing comes with more than that for the cost charged. Sorry, but not sure how respectable I can consider you when it seems you're price gouging students trying to get an education that in itself is an expensive process.
Your brother's apartment probably isn't a nice home with loads of space and the freedom of having only a couple of roommates with little noise otherwise. Apartments usually charge for laundry and have shit machines. What? Ours is nice and free to use. College campus has loads of students who could be a huge distraction for your studies. We're quiet and keep to ourselves. I could go on, but honestly, you didn't come here to understand why this is a good spot for a college kid. You came here to just gawk and throw a fuss.
Rolling out for a laughing emoji. No! Not just liking someone pretending to be helping when really taking advantage of a student.
Your opinion of it being taking advantage of a student hasn't been substantiated. Hasn't been substantiated. God damn it. I have provided date and evidence to why it's a fair deal. And all you've done is present a false narrative based off a situation your brother is in. feel free to provide evidence of how this is taking advantage of someone. I think that was great. I think that was perfect. You really made me laugh quite a bit there. That was pretty good.
I can do witching.
The pissed. I also didn't know that he said shit
Me neither.
for laundry and have shit machines. I didn't read that. That was great. And I
also,
said,
I'm thinking-
God damn it, because I practiced that word substantiated, and then
yeah.
I just substained. It's like a teleprompter reader.
You go, there's no words on it.
There's no fucking words here. Or I can be. Did you see that news reporter going around National Suicide Prevention Day? You didn't see this? Oh boy, oh boy. I don't really feel like pulling it up because it's kind of embarrassing for the person, and it seems like it wasn't their fault.
It was a teleprompter's fault.
It was a teleprompter thing. This is
But
recently.
man, like this isn't like Bill. I was quoting Bill O'Reilly there. There's no words on it.
Oh no, it wasn't quite like that. It seems like whoever's running the teleprompter was like either out to get this person or just like having a bad day or maybe ready to quit their job. It was National Suicide Prevention Day, and this reporter, presumably in the news studio, was reading off the prompter and saying things about National Suicide Prevention Day. But she was like, it started with, and just so you, and like it was something like, now, suicide isn't the only way out, but it is an option. And she's like reading this all normally, like she's like just reading the words, doing her normal thing, not thinking about what she's saying. And she's like, another option is you can quit your job. And then she starts getting confused. She's like, you can quit your job and move to China and become a rice picker. She's like, no, don't quit your job. She read that all, and then she's like, no, don't quit your job. And then she like moves on to like keep going. But it was like, what the fuck? It was so weird. Suicide is an option, or it's not the only way out, but it is an option. Another option is quit your job, move to China, and become a rice picker. It was, you have to watch it.
I missed it.
I can't believe you missed it with how chronic you're online.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
How
truly.
much chronic. But yeah, I would play it, but I don't know. I just feel bad. I'd rather
Yeah,
just
no,
quote
yeah,
it.
that's good.
But yeah, that was very fun. Another segment we do every week is called What You Listening To, where we recommend a song, album, or artist to each other that we've been listening to in the past week. Gavin, what have you been listening to this past week?
Well, if you should ask.
If you must ask.
This week, I've been getting a lot of like indie bands promoting their music. Not a bad thing, especially just because like I like indie music. So, you know.
No, you don't. You like indie music?
I don't know if you
Did you hear about the litter boxes that the indie
I don't know if
musicians
you
are?
guys noticed about me, but I like indie music. So what I've found, or what has been promoted to me, it wasn't like a paid promotion. It was just like it showed up because TikTok knows I like indie music. So I was
Right.
like, oh, yeah. So this band is from they're from around Arizona, I believe, Tucson area.
Okay.
They said the Dirty T, so I assume that's Tucson.
Can you say that anymore?
And
Can you-
they
Never
were promoting another single, but it hasn't been out on platforms yet. But the one that they do have out is Bottled Up. The band is Desert Child, and it's a very good indie kind of like anthem feel to it. It's really good, and they seemingly are a very small like groundwork band. So it's exciting. I like recommending smaller bands if I
Yeah.
can.
Me too.
And they only have 3,000 listens on this. So
Nice.
if you're in the indie mood, Bottled Up by Desert Child.
Might have to give it a shot. Might have to give it a jab. I'm also recommending somewhat of a smaller band. I always think that
No, it doesn't compare. Doesn't compare.
Guess you're better than I am. I always think that this band is way bigger than they actually are, but they're actually smaller than I think they are. I am recommending Harm's Way's new album. Just came out on Friday, titled Common Suffering. I have been a huge Harm's Way fan for not that long, but I haven't been a fan of hardcore metalcore music for that long either. I only started listening to it around like 2018-ish. So that's when I first heard Harm's Way and fell in love and have been a big fan of them ever since. And their music is awesome. It's been a while since they've released anything. I think their last album was either in 2018 or 2019. I can check real quick. No, I can't, because it's on the wrong page. 2018, is that what it says?
2021 was an Isolation Redux, but
right, that doesn't
2020 or 2018.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So it's been 5 years.
Long time, and
in the music world.
Been waiting for it, and apparently I just read up something that they like started writing this in 2019, and then the pandemic hit. They stopped writing it, and then for whatever reason, it didn't get picked up back up again. I think they all have like other jobs. I want to say that Sean, your brother, who's also a fan.
Is that my brother?
I think so. I believe he told me that he heard from somebody. This is another he said, she said. I haven't looked into it myself. But that the lead singer might be like a high school or elementary school like gym teacher.
Really?
Which is funny. He's also just like the biggest, most jacked person you've ever seen.
That's what Sean told me.
Unit.
Yeah.
This dude is huge. And you can hear it in his voice. He sounds huge. And not huge like large.
Yeah, he is jacked.
Just built
shredded
like a truck.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the music. Been waiting for this for a long time. They released a couple singles over the past couple months. Album finally came out. It's amazing. It's exactly what I wanted from them. Just more heavy stuff.
And you're gonna see them soon.
Different. Yeah, seeing them in 20 days, I believe. I believe it's the 23rd. First time ever seeing them. Coming to St. Louis, playing the famous Blueberry Hill Duck Room, which is, I don't know if it's the first hardcore show to go there. I'd imagine it's not, but the first one I've ever seen there, and it's a small venue if you're not local to here. It's pretty small, low ceiling.
It's the perfect place for...
Yeah, well known for being where Chuck Berry played,
Yeah.
which makes no sense why they have a hardcore show there. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to go. I know Sean's really looking forward to it. Will I get in the pit for the first time ever? We'll see. Sean sounds like he wants to. I'm a bigger pussy than Sean is, so we'll see. It's going to be rowdy. I'm very excited for it, though. But this album is so fucking good. I love it. I can't stop playing it. It's going on my list of best albums this year for sure, if not number one. I don't want to spoil anything. The year's not over yet.
I don't even think I'll have like 5 albums that came out this year.
I didn't think so either, and then I thought of 2 more that I won't reveal. But
I can't even think of it.
I know I have 2. I might have 4. But anyways, my favorite song off of this album, the night it came out. Again, all these stories have to do with me being having a little toker.
A little out of it.
I don't even do that much, but stories just happen to coincide with that. I was listening to it for the first time, and this song came on, and I kept going like, what the fuck? Because it was just like, it had so many layers to it, and it was blowing my mind. And it still does, but not quite as much as it did. But it's still a fucking perfect song. Heaven's Call.
Makes you want to buy a litter
so
box.
So good. It made me want to buy a litter box. And
You ever heard of these? Yeah, have you heard of these litter boxes?
I think I did. From somebody else told me in an article. Mm-hmm. It might be fake, though. I don't know. Yeah. Heaven's Call is amazing. Cyanide, which is the song after they like go into each other. So good. Still need to listen to it more, but every song is just fucking amazing. Cannot wait to see them live. I really, really hope, because they're the headliner, I hope they play the full album. That's my hope. I hope they play older stuff too, but I really hope they play this full album, because it's just, it's amazing. Harm's Way, one of my favorite bands. Anyways, I've gone on enough. I love that your Terraria background. You're reminding me of Terraria for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I just have it on random now. This is Mac OS, the new one.
Mac DeMarco OS?
Uh-huh. Let me make sure.
Why'd you hit that outro song? Oh.
That's not quite it.
I can feel it.
That's not it either.
Oh.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to Text All Kinds Podcast, episode 135. Keep watching, keep listening. Be sure to subscribe. And also, And also keep following. I'm glad everybody that followed us from the clip I posted on my personal account. Also, so thanks for watching. Keep listening. Keep following. Keep subscribing. And Garson.
This isn't my final remarks, but it'll be interesting to see how many of those stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me
see
too.
how many of those actually listen. One real quick thing I want to just tease for next week's show is that Gavin and I are doing something fun tomorrow. And that's all I want to say. We might have some stories to share. I think we'll have a story to share either way, but we'll see. We'll talk about it next week. And we'll see you guys in the new year.
The vultures are waiting to pick your bones.